Okay, this is the screen that you get when you open up Illustrator. First thing you need to do is just create a new document. Because these are vector graphics and they can be resized without distortion, because they're not made of pixels, we can just choose any size, just web here, that's fine. And then we get our stage. The first thing I like to do is click View up the top and then show the grid, and this lets us line things up pretty easily. Same thing as Photoshop. If you hold Alt and scroll, you can zoom in and out. That's really handy as well. Okay, the first demonstration I'm going to give you is drawing straight lines with the pen tool. So at the top left, you'll see the pen tool. This is the main one you'll be using. Once you choose the pen tool, we've got fill color and stroke color. So the fill color, I'm going to turn off. You can turn it off by the little slash button here. That means there's no fill. And the stroke color, I'll just make black for now. Okay, so drawing the straight lines, I'm just going to line up a simple shape with the grid. So I'm going to click, and when I click, every time I click, there's an anchor point there. And this is needed for later, the anchor points. So I'm going to click and just make a cross. Every time I click, I can change directions using the grid to line up. I'm purposely making a few mistakes here so I can show you a tool later to fix things up. Okay, so these anchor points, the lines that fill in these anchor points, this is called a path. So far, this is the start of our path. The path goes around the cross, and I'm ending the path by clicking that first anchor point. Okay, so there's my path. And then I could get the black selection tool here, and I can move that whole path. I can resize the path like I want. So yeah, I'm just going to put that back there. Okay, next tool I'm going to show you is the direct select tool. You'll be using this a lot. It's the white pointer. So I'm going to zoom in here a bit. What you can do is select the anchor point. You can click it first, and then you can drag it to move it into position. So this allows us just to to select an individual anchor point and move it to the position that we want. So I'm just going to do a really quick job. You guys can do a better job later at evening it up. Yeah, that'll do. Awesome cross. Not so awesome. Yours will be better. Next thing I'm going to do is just select this path again. Go back to the pen tool. And when a path is selected and you hover over an existing path, the little icon next to the pen tool will change to a plus, and that will allow us to add anchor points. So I'm just clicking along each of these lines and adding in an anchor point, like that. I'm adding 2 here, and 1 on all the rest of them. Okay, so that's the pen tool. Now back to the direct select tool. And then I'm just choosing a single anchor point at a time and dragging. You can see, yeah, you can make some kind of manipulations with the pen tool by just dragging the anchor points. There's 2 anchor points here. If you want to get rid of an anchor point, get the pen tool. Just get the pen tool, hover over an existing anchor point and click, and it'll remove itself. So far, all we've really done is use the pen tool to draw our path, add and remove anchor points, and use the white direct select tool to drag the anchor points and move them around. Okay, welcome back. This part is going to teach you the basics of how to do curves. So I'm going to choose the pen tool again, and I'm going to make sure I don't have a fill color. Strike that out. And I've got a stroke color, which is the outline color is black. Okay, so last video, or last demonstration, we just clicked, and a single click gave us a straight line. But to do a curve, instead of clicking and letting go, we click and drag, and that gives us handles, like a past and a present handle. So I'm just going to press escape here to get rid of this line. Okay, so this past line back here, the left handle is, whoops. Okay, this is our past handle, this is our future handle, and this dictates the curve of the line. So if you just imagine this handle here is pulling the line towards it, if I get the direct select tool and move this handle, you can kind of change how the line is curved. Okay, so now I'm going to continue this path, so I'm going to get the pen tool. To continue a path, just get the pen tool, hover over an existing anchor point of the path, and you get a little slash, and now I'm continuing. So I'm just going to do a straight line there. Might do a bit of a curve here. Yeah, because there's a handle, this bit will curve as well. Do a couple curves, and finish off my path. Now that you've got some curves in there, I'm going to choose the direct select tool, and like I said before, you can change the handles, which changes the curves. Another thing you can do is hold Alt, and this is really important. If you hold Alt and change a handle, it'll only change one of the handles and not both of them, and that'll let us get exactly the right, curve that we want. Let's just say we'll click this anchor point, or we'll click this one here, and we've got two handles. If we don't want there to be a curve here, we want it to be straight, the last tool I'm going to show you is the anchor point tool, which is just located behind the pen tool, and we can just click and it'll remove the curve. Furthermore, if we've got a straight line and we want handles, we can just, with this tool here, we can just drag out an existing anchor point and give it a curve. So manipulating your lines is just a matter of getting the direct select tool, holding Alt, and adjusting how you want the line to go. And where necessary, adding or removing curves with the anchor point tool. Okay, so with that, you should be able to make any design you want. Okay, so yep, that's that. Okay, last demo in Illustrator. For your task, you're going to have to combine multiple images together to make your own unique logo. And this will give you a good pointer to do it. For example, if you wanted this shape in your logo, this P, maybe you could manipulate it a bit. I'm going to start by copy and pasting the image into Illustrator. So right-click, copy, same as Photoshop. In Illustrator, Control-V or Edit Paste. First thing we need to do is, like Photoshop, we've got layers here. And when I've pasted it in, this is layer 1. I'm just going to rename that and call it Logo. And I want to lock this layer, so you can lock it where my mouse is. And this means I can't move it, can't manipulate it, and that's what we want. It's only a temporary image. We only want it so we can trace around it. But then I'm going to have to create a new layer down the bottom here. And this is what I'm going to use to trace around. So I'm going to get the pen tool. As before, I'm going to make sure I have a fill color, no fill color, and a stroke color. And then I'm going to go around the outline, again making sure we're in a new layer. So this is just how I'm going to do it. Click, click. We don't want too many anchor points. So I'm going to do a curve there. I'm going to click here, curve there. Maybe I'll click here. This just has to be a rough guide. We can change the anchor points later. These are straight lines, so click, click, click. I'm going to click and drag here and close that up. So now we have a rough guide. I can also hit the I tool next to the lock tool in the layers to hide and show my image, and this lets us see what we've come up with. But I definitely need to adjust these anchor points. So I'm going to get the direct selection tool now, click the anchor point, and I've got to adjust these handles now. So yeah, that one's good. Holding Alt to just pull out this handle, holding Alt to pull this one out a bit. Yeah, this could be a bit smoother, so I might just drag this out a bit. Holding Alt to bring this up. There we go. Move this one towards the middle. Actually, what I can do here Now that doesn't look that good. Okay, I'll zoom in, put this in the middle. It gets really fiddly. Best recommendation I could do is just zoom in heaps and just keep playing around until you get what you want. It can be fiddly. There you go, that'll look good back there. So now when I hide the image, let's have a look. Could probably fix this bit up a bit. It's a bit of a lump there, but for the most part, that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this layer. I'm going to call this P in the layers. I'm going to do a new layer, and this new layer is just going to be for the S here. So in the S layer, I'm just going to start the image here, because I'm eventually going to put this layer behind, behind the P. So click, just going to do a quick demo for you guys. Yep, still going. Best demonstration ever. Closing the path. Okay, getting the direct select tool, clicking the anchor points, holding Alt. Okay, most of it's okay. Yeah. I'll just do this little bit here. If you spend more time on it, you can really get it cleaner, which is what I'll expect you to do for your assignment, but that'll do for now. Okay, so right now, I've got 3 layers. One's the P, one's the S, and one's the regular image. I'm going to just show you the S for now. Actually, with the S, I'm then going to get the pen tool and just draw some lines across in the same layer as the S. Just draw a line there and press Escape to get rid of the path. And this will help us when we're filling it in later with color. And this is something new, guys, if you want to pay attention to this. Otherwise, you can just watch the video. So again, you need to press Escape every time to finish the path. Escape, and okay. So, yep, 3 layers. I'm going to show you how to paint the P now. So if it's one shape like this, really easy way to color it is to just select it. Okay, so I'm selecting the P. Really simple way to just color this one shape in is just choose fill color and okay. Or I could show, I'm going to unlock the logo and just put it to the side. So I want to get the color. So I can just select this, choose the eyedropper tool, which is here where my mouse is, click that red, and it gets the exact same shade of red. However, things get more complicated when we have the S, because we can see the S has multiple colors. So this is what we need to do. Because this is all in one layer, but we want different colors for different bits. So we're going to select it all. We're going to go Object, Live Paint, and Make. And when we do that, it'll allow us to color it in. Okay, Object, Live Paint, Make. Now I'm going to press K on the keyboard, which will be the Live Paint Bucket tool right here. Then we choose a color, and you can see we can hover over the bits that we want to paint. In this case, I'm using the eyedropper tool to get the yellow color I want. I'll deselect that first. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to get the green color, choose the paint bucket tool, and I can hover over the green bits. Now, eyedropper tool, get the blue color, live paint bucket tool, color those bits in, and there is my logo. So now I'm going to show the P in one layer, show the S in the other layer. I'm now going to delete the PlayStation logo original image because I don't need that. Actually, I'll do that in a second. Got to drag the P above the S because PlayStation should be in front. So you can see this is vector graphic. I can zoom in as much as I want. Smooth lines, no pixels. That's what we use for logos. Whereas this was just a graphic image file made of pixels, which is why when we're making logos, we don't use Photoshop, because well, we can't make it as big as we want. It'll look like this. So anyway, deleting the logo. And here is my awesome PlayStation logo. Okay. So once again, with your logo, I want you guys to combine different images to make your logo. And even you can bring in some DeFont and trace around some letters from DeFont if you want that in there. Okay, hope that helps. Goodbye.